Alright, so I'm in one of those trades that may just prove me right or may just make me look like a jackass. Either way, I'm used to both. Well, more the jackass than the being right. Got in at 0.64, came down, hit our line even. You know, it wasn't our exit line so much, it's just the SMA, 50 SMA. Got in at 0.64 for the test of VWAP, even though on a runner that's not something that often works. And here we are looking at a profit already. And if we can reach those highs, I may just get out. That's kind of what we're looking for. Just started using this 50 SMA. I've liked it a lot looking at runners. And today was its test, really. I'm already in a position where I'm comfortable getting out. It was a real small position size, $644. And so my comfort was already hit. We're going to watch the trade really close now. New peak, but it's a lower high. It is from what I could tell, at least at the time, the number one runner of the day, or up the most pre-market. It's got the most traders involved with it. I mean, you're already talking about 103 million shares traded. Granted, it's a lower price stock, so you're going to have a higher volume when there is action. It just allows me to just talk about what I'm thinking as the trade's going on and then analyze it later on. Market's only been open about 13 minutes. So there's any varieties of things that can happen. You try to play a few of them in your mind. Another test of the yellow SMA is possible, but you would hope they would bottom out there and have another higher low. I always talk about worst case scenario, what I hope to be worst case scenario anyway. Risk level is that low. On a stock like this, that's kind of a larger than normal risk level. Something I might consider changing in the future. And then my YOY and tiers start if it goes below that. I have to try to chase it out. On these low stocks, it's kind of hard to get out sometimes, especially with E-Trade, because you hit the down arrow and it does it too much. You're like, oh, I didn't mean 57. I meant 64 and 63. Why won't you do that? Alright, so you see that quick split to the downside. Don't know if that was just a misprint or if that actually happened. We want to see some green volume obviously here. The thunder's looming in the background. We would hope VWAP did a little bit more. It's trying. Not the kind of strength you want to see. You want to see like much more confidence in the upside. But just the simple fact that they're fighting is, I guess, good either way. A lot of red on the tape though. You got some good size over here. 61. They ain't fleeing. Somehow it's still dropping. Got 20,000 sell, 59,000 sell, 14,000 sells, 23, Got some big sell orders going on. Didn't want to get there this fast. Again. That's tapping the SMA twice. We may have to take a loss on this one. Right at it. Brought it up a bit even. Ooh, slammed it right back down. We need to break levels now. One way or the other. We got the green candle somehow. But now we got a red. Look at how amazing this is. Alright, well if I'm going to be serious about that being my risk level down there, I need to go ahead and take off pre-market. Because right now it means nothing to me. I might bring it back. Alright, we're taking a good hard look at what this candle does. We're not looking to go sideways. And it's a real close call. I mean, my average is 0.064, which is right there. So obviously what the next few candles do are very important. I need to have some number in here probably. Probably want to do this on a smaller price stock. Can I? Yeah. And these aren't as big orders as I was thinking originally, because I keep forgetting about the price. Wow, is this thing really going to just mellow out all of a sudden? As long as we have an uptrend on the downside. As hard as it is to look at right here. Because people are creating their own flags at this point. And if they are, well then that's not bullish, I'll tell you that. How this keeps changing from red to green, red to green. I'm bringing back pre-market just to see the price action in a different way. But it's amazing how it's just this perfect triangle at this point. And like I said, it looks more bearish than bullish. Am I just saying that because I've been burned 100 times? I don't know. But it is quite the pattern. But again, you look at what time it is. You know, obviously I'm not going to short something like this. And I don't know who would at this point. So I guess in a way I'm looking for that wake. Not so much. I mean, it's kind of scary because it could go down to here. But I'm looking for a phoenix, obviously. It's a good candle there. Good green, good green. Still the #1 stock in the market. Berkshire Hathaway is up there. Alright, we're break even though this doesn't seem to want to say it. We're up, it's just not showing it. I don't know why. It's being a douche. Come on. You break that 663 and we go on places. There's one a lower high here, because then the momentum would be even more difficult for us to overcome. Now, do I get scared out and potentially lose? Or did I just be wise, get a win, small profit, and so on? $4.95 for commission. We'd have 10 cents at best. Touch that line. Who's your daddy? What does he do? Can we get confidence in that? Remember, this is not a cover, this is going to be a sell. And it's a good sell right now. Don't be greedy. Just watch carefully. I mean, you have a higher high with higher lows. So you got to tell yourself, this is not such a bad deal. It even makes a trip to the downside. You just want that low to be higher than this one. And at that point, you know, your SMA is looking good. I mean, where it goes from here is up to it. Obviously, it always has been. But, you know, the traders trading it, they see things, you know. And you should think with a clear mind. It's not like somebody has it out for this stock. Short sellers should be trading based on the chart, and long traders should be doing the same. And if they are, this suddenly is looking fairly decent. In fact, the best thing you could have is this healthy retracement to VWAP get stopped, or somewhere in between, and make a run. That's a very bullish sign. But normal breathing is going to happen too. Our entry is still not protected yet. We still are out of the blue. You know, we're still... So here's a good fight right here, actually. And even if they take some, with their small ass position sizes, remember, this is still the #1 stock on everybody's radar. Them suckers that haven't woke up yet, or are just waking up. Now it's so low that it's not going to be mentioned on Yahoo. That is a negative sign. And perhaps some others, even though you have Market Watch here. probably the only ones. Oh, and briefing.com, go figure. So I feel like this is a trade I could have gotten out of, especially on the higher high there. We are below our entry, but just barely. Now let's see if it even listens to VWAP at this stage. VWAP gets more and more legitimacy as the day goes on. So in the morning it's not as accurate. I mean, it's accurate based on its mathematical formulas, but not as sentiment, really. This 6-8 might be our goal now. Obviously, if it can come up here, then I'm not as worried. So let's talk about that for a second. Where do we get most comfortable in a trade? Obviously when we're up, but also when we're up and price action is in our favor. You now have your third, actually fourth, well, let's just call it third higher low. Candle has to close. Don't want to speak too soon. There it is. So we know there's a fight to the downside. We keep seeing the wicks. You gotta pay attention to your good and bad signs. Still normal breathing though. We get an up candle here or the next, and it's just good tapering. Let's see what we look like again. More of a guideline, really. So they don't stay. Not gonna bust out the fibs yet. Stock this small probably won't. So right where VWAP is, basically. Looks to be the center of things. Maybe shoot it out a little bit. So extended. That green candle didn't turn things around like we wanted, even though that was looks like an awesome doji to me. Sitting right at entry. Looking good on CCIH, by the way. Can't really turn away from this chart right now, though. I mean, it's how bad do the traders want it? Do they want a runner today? I mean, you're at 141 million on this stock. Which, again, it's a smaller price stock. Still, that's about 1.4 if it was $6 stock. Okay, we're below VWAP and at our line. This is a critical moment. I expect the tipping toeing of it, you know, sticking the toe across even. And one single candle to the downside. is possible. Might even raise my risk on this, basically to this low here. It's a pretty big risk still. But on a sideways runner, your number one stock of the day is still in the morning. It's really about price action. Okay, solid candle. Again, what can it do? Remember, a lot of people aren't playing this either, even though the volume's there. Alright. We're going to make our risk to reward a little bit better now. What's if it can even meet that top right there? Then it starts to make sense. Goes from a ridiculous trade, in my opinion. But you use your highs and lows of the day. Most of the time, that's what I do. And the risk to reward sometimes is not all that great. Let's see here. Okay, we respected the SMA. For the most part, respected VWAP. Come on, let me do this. Such an insane chart. Reminds me of GLYC yesterday. Already. Once it gets, that angle enough above the yellow and red lines, VMA and SMA, VWAP and SMA, we're basically going to call 6 cents our risk. This really begins to go to sideways, we're going to consider getting out of 66. Not going to be greedy here. This level's important. As you see, it was the top before. And if it's having that much of a heart attack at 66, I'm not going to let it give me one. It's going to be hard to get it with size. But it's flagging out here. Alright. Well then, we can't move our risk. And didn't really see that coming. It's going to scare some people out. So it's all about the low now. And let's say that was the low for a second. Then it pulls off everything you wanted it to. And you're actually looking for a phoenix at that point. That's the perfect platform for it to just jump. Snap it. Snap it like a Slim Jim. We're above it, technically. We are above it. Like I said, the size is going to be a factor for us. Because now 65 would be an easy exit. And you'd get a lot of that, of course. Now 12K, shoot. It's almost worth taking. Come on, buyers. As long as it's making higher lows. Our risk is technically 60 plus or minus 0.002 for a dip. But even a dip now I think wouldn't be a problem. You can do this. You got 2 levels right there. I know you've been dancing around the levels all morning. Come on, everybody's got to see this. Everybody and their mom's got to see this. Everybody and their mom and her little pet dog with, poor thing with cataracts has got to see this. Hold on, I got a phone call. Yeah, Ray Charles, you see it too? Dang, everybody sees this. Come on. Some big buyers is what we really need. Killing me right here at 68. Just killing me. I just need to see it snap. Doesn't mean it will. Just had to show 9.5. Lord help me at this point. Ooh. Man, this is tough. Even for such small money, it's tough. Like, I put it in the smallest position I thought was reasonable. It's amazing to be able to do that. Right as I make a decision. So my fingers are pretty much on backspace and then the number pad. It's the best way to just really go about it. Otherwise you're going to be bouncing around with the mouse, tripping out. I mean, the sure money is in when it gets to the top. What it does after that, that's anybody's game. So have that number in. And then just be ready to hit backspace and replace with another number if you have to. There's the 7-3 right there. So we touched it. It's a matter of getting out of it now. Watch that level 2. We don't have, there's not enough room for us yet. So technically I should be backspacing 2. I should be paying attention to the level 2 and responding with whatever number is according to the level 2. See right now I got that, then I didn't have it, then I lost it. Now it's back. You know what I mean? That fingering positioning is so critical. Backspace 3, backspace 2, backspace 3 if you have to. You get used to it. I don't want to add another digit per se, I can. But then you'd be chasing and following and typing even faster. Looks like 4 is possible completely. Once it busts here though, that's what we all think about. Is, you know, once it completes that ABCD pattern. Tim has been talking about buying the dips. I see why. Lord knows I see why. A lot of green volume. The breathing is over for the most part right now. It's all about the straight line push at this point. Then it'll cross it, come back, tippy toe. Is 0.08, you know, having any effect on it either? Are traders even thinking about that yet? Not enough size, there it is, kinda. We got more strength on our side. That's what we're looking at. I don't know how it changed colors when they're all the same price. Oh yeah, it's not showing another digit probably. Alright, we're tapping it. Keeping 4 in the window. $7.5 brings us a $100 bill. But can't always look at all those numbers. There it is though. Don't want to replace it in our digit window yet. It's not a confirmation. Nothing on the level 2. 7.5 on the level 2. Disappeared, back. We're going to play that game again, basically where we getting ready for anything. Remember, you wish all the numbers were straight next to each other. I might have to start using those on the top. It might actually be better. So, for the future, remember that. Five finally has some size to it. And the level 2, looking good. Think we can go ahead. For the moment. First fingers on the 4 still though. Alright. Technically above the previous high, by the way. Don't want to do much mouse action right now if I can help it. I just want to keep everything right where it is. Notice the S for sell. Might use that as well just to see what happens. Let's see, here we go. Nothing. Probably has to be Alt S or something crazy. Anyway, we're not shooting out of the gate. It's been fighting for everything it has since it came up from 66. Steady green candles all the way. I say steady, it's been nerve-wracking. But 7.5, 7.5, 7.6. It's like an auction at this point. You got 476s. Your chart recognized it. We're going to use the top keys now. There's the enter with my thumb. Okay. 6. Alright. An enter's not going to work anyway, so I don't know why. 7. Look at the level 2. 24,000, 22,000, 85,000. Alright, we're at my point. The meat of the move is done. At least for this particular portion of the day, the pattern, if you will. Not going to put that 8 in there until it shows me 8. There we go. It's just a fidget game at this point. I'm sure most people will laugh at it. Alright, we got a breakout, ladies and gentlemen. It's vague, it's minor, but you got to remember this is a small price stock too. We have size. In 79 we have size. $80 was a magnet after all, ladies and gentlemen. You know I don't want to write it yet though. Remind me to get a lit keyboard. I think people are going to be taking profit at 8. So you really have to consider that. There it is. Not much of a drawback. You're going to want it to take a breath at some point to go from a runner to structure, but instead it went from structure to a runner. You got profit takers, I can see it now. Doing your keyboard. There it is, we called it. Now how healthy of a retracement are we going to have here? Because it fought to get to where it was. Yeah, there it is too. I don't mind either way. I don't mind getting out of 70. You're talking about a stock that's been a steady climber. It didn't just shoot straight up. This thing puts in work. You do want that to be a steady bottom now, though. And trust me, it's not easy to just let go of something like that, but that breathing is what you and it has to do. You might as well breathe with it. Now, the weak hands are out. Only real traders remain. The 8 level is a target. And we may just, depending on how it acts at it, get out there. if it goes back, which I believe it will. Still got a 7 in there, just in case. Get used to hitting the keys. Get used to responding to the chart with your own hands. Keeps you focused on price action and nothing else. Even when it dipped there, it just went to 7.6. There it did it again. You see the hunger in it. You see the desire to head in that direction. Get used to your keyboard. Prepare. P-R-E-P-A-R-E. Mentally. Afraid to put 8. I expect another little dip here, guys. It's not as simple as going right back to 80. Too many people are going to take those profits again because they saw what happened last time. So the pimp move would be to 79. So let's keep it there. Let's actually keep it out of there. Keep it 7.7. Read the tape, read the tape. 12,525 shared. Down, but 40,000 up. 15,000 down. You're going to see some big numbers on a lower price stock. Alright, here's your second dip that I was talking about. You know, they saw hesitation. Everybody was worried. A lower low here means catastrophe, really. And the fact that it's even warning of it has me comfortable getting out of... Ooh, look at that. She wants to fight. Your SMA is way down below, so you ain't got backup. I'm out. So that's the first time that it really showed you that it could make a lower low. You look at the pattern of the day, and its pattern of the day is a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right? So when that pattern changed, I exited. Now if I had infinite day trades, I'd probably get back in as it tries to make its way back to 80. But you have to understand the conditions we're in, and that's how we roll. Should I keep this going is the other question. Because there she is. Technically, that may not even have been a lower low, if you look at the wick. And everything counts on a penny stock and a 1 minute chart. We'll take the meat of the move, though. Alright, let's get back to our other positions. No sense even worrying about it.